What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka NinosCorner, man. First off, if you like this content, you like all this information and news that is coming to you here on YouTube, go hit that subscribe button and go hit that bell button also, guys, so that you can get all of my notifications when I do drop content. Also, guys, if you're listening to this on the podcast, man, give me a 5-star comment, review, like something. It helps out immensely on this channel. But today, we're going to talk about Texas defensive end / outside linebacker Marqez Bimage has decided to put his name into the transfer portal here at Texas. And to be honest with you guys, he didn't play last year because of COVID. You know, he actually opted out to actually sit out the season. But it makes it seems like that Texas has kind of known that this was going to come, pretty soon when it came to Marqez Bimage, because they have been loading up on stock at the linebacker position, specifically the outside linebacker / defensive end hybrid position that Marqez Bimage would have been playing. And in this defense, more than likely, it looks like Marqez Bimage was going to play the buck position, and that is the position that Coach K and Coach Sarkisian have been loading up on here at the 40 acres for the past month and a half or so. So first off, guys, they went and got Notre Dame grad transfer Ovia Gofo, big body kid, nimble guy that was going to get a bunch of snaps this year at Notre Dame, if not start. He could be an instant person to come in here and contribute to this defense. Texas wasn't done after that. After getting Ovia Gofo, they went and got Ray Thornton from LSU, another guy who can play that buck position in the Coach K defense, another guy around the 230-pound frame guy, 235-pound frame guy who can come in here and compete, maybe bring some depth here to the position and compete for that buck position. Texas already has one guy on campus who you guys know I'm very high on, Prince Dorba, who can also probably compete for that buck position. Another guy that has been rumored to potentially be a transfer portal candidate to Texas is Ben Davis from Alabama, a big-bodied guy that can play that buck position, a former 5-star guy coming out of high school, 6'4", 250-pound outside linebacker who could definitely play the buck position here at Texas. So you're seeing what Texas is doing. I think Texas kind of knew that they were going to lose, Marqez Bimage over here, like just over the past month or so, because like I said, they have been loading up on these outside linebacker type folks to come in here and compete to get that job. Now, if we look at Coach K's defense and look at that buck position, let's just look at how valuable that position is for him. So guess what, guys? I'm going to give you some stats on some of these buck guys. So let's take a look. First person that I want to highlight at Washington when Coach K was there, Travis Fenney in 2015, ended up becoming a 6th-round draft pick to the NFL. Led the team in both tackles for loss and sacks with 17.5 tackles for loss, 8 sacks at the buck position. 6'4", 225-pound guy, kind of like one of those tweener guys, but outside linebacker guy. Not necessarily a defensive end hybrid. He's literally an outside linebacker, strictly in that 2-4-5 defense. So, that was mainly like the defense that they ran there at Washington. But as you progress through the years, you start to see how the size of these guys that are playing the buck position get larger and larger. And then this allows Coach K to become a more multiple defensive minded coach when it comes throughout the year. So the next guy, guys, that I want to highlight is 2017 Tevis Bartlett. Had 12 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. Actually led the team with 12 tackles for loss. He played the buck position at Washington during that season in 2017. He's a little bit bigger than Fenney is. He's 6'2", 234 pounds. So you're seeing a guy getting bigger by, 10 more pounds. Now, let's drop down and go to the next guy. In 2019, Joe Trion led the team in sacks and tackles for loss, 12.5 tackles for loss, 8 sacks. Like I said, led the team. He gets a little bit bigger, guys. 6'5", 262-pound guy. And this is when you see this guy like a Marqez Bimage, where they are a little bit bigger to where they can play the outside linebacker position, but also drop down and put their hand in the dirt and be an extra defensive lineman when necessary. But, guys, the next person in 2020, just in 4 games, this guy played the buck position. His name is, and I'm going to butcher his name, guys, Zion Tupaloa Fetu. Had 7 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, led the team in both those categories. But, guys, he had those numbers, 7 tackles for loss, 7 sacks in only 4 games. 4 games. This guy is a big guy also, 6'3", 280 pounds, guys. So you know he can either drop back and be that outside linebacker and rush the passer standing up, or he can be that defensive lineman with his hand in the dirt because he has the size to take on those guards, take on those tackles, and go and rush the quarterback. So you're seeing the maturation process in Coach K's defense, where that buck position has went from a tweener guy to a guy who can actually have his hand in the dirt, but also be a guy who can rush with also standing up off the ground. So that's the kind of guys that Coach K is bringing in here for that buck position. And if you see these targets that Texas is trying to bring in here to fill in that buck position, whether it's an Ovia Gofo, whether it's a Ray Thornton, those are the more tweener type of guys around the 235-pound range. But if the rumors are true that Ben Davis from Alabama is coming here to compete for that buck position, he's a big guy, 6'4", 250 pounds. It's showing that he does want somebody who can have some speed off the edge, but also has enough strength to where he can take on those tackles and potentially, if need be, bump down as a defensive tackle kind of range guy to take on some guards and also maybe even rush the passer from that position also. So we're looking at this opportunity for Texas to bring in some more depth at the buck position, some more depth at the outside linebacker position, whether it is at the Sam or at the buck position. It's kind of exciting to see what's going to happen here. I'm sad to see Marqez Bimage leave, first off, guys. I thought he was going to be an instant guy to contribute to, to this team this year. I was looking forward to seeing him play. He was one of my favorite guys to actually see on the field. I think he had a motor that a lot of the guys here last year just didn't have, minus a guy like Joseph Asai. Well, you know what? I can't say that. Texas defensive line had a bunch of motor, but it's always good to have guys with motor and size and also has speed with that size. He was a strong guy. He squatted 700 pounds, guys. So you're looking at somebody who had the opportunity to come in here and instantly compete. Was it to the extent that maybe Marqez Bimage saw the writings on the wall, saw that, he didn't have a clear shot to actually get a lot of playing time here? We kind of know, we don't know, but we can kind of figure out that Sam position, that strong side outside linebacker who can also put his hand in the dirt is probably going to be more Ojimo because he just has the size, he has the motor, he has the ability to uphold and stop that run when necessary and when need be. So you're looking at a guy like him maybe being that Sam position, and that buck position is wide open, and it's a lot of people competing for that job. And Marqez Bimage isn't a dumb guy. He's probably looking around that locker room and seeing that Coach K and Coach Sarkisian are not really happy with that outside linebacker position, and they keep bringing in guys. And what does that mean? More competition in his position. So he's going to transfer out, try to go to a team where he can get some instant playing time, because he has a great opportunity here to be a grad transfer somewhere, go get his graduate degree, and actually have an opportunity to go to the league if he balls out here for the next, 2 years or so. But on that note, guys, man, let me know what you think in these comments about the Marqez Bimage, situation with him going into the transfer portal. What do you think about Texas possibly getting Ben Davis from Alabama? What do you think about the other 2 grad transfers that are already here? It's going to be something interesting here, guys, in the spring. Can't wait for the spring game, 24 April. It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting out there. I'm getting my COVID vaccine so I can get out there, guys, and I can get this content for you guys and get some live film and footage just from that day. But on that note, guys, you guys know how I always end things. Do you. Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance. And I'm going to end this podcast on that note. But also, guys, I always tell you guys to do you, right? Now I got some new Do You shirts. I'm just going to show you guys, man, the new design. Bam, you see that? The Do You shirt, man. Wow, do you. But they'll be up on my site too, guys. Just go take a look at that. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Salute to you guys, man. Love you.